Major U.S. company just sent huge FU to Trump and his supporters at NASCAR, big mistake. In the past few weeks, several yellow-bellied CEOs have distanced themselves from President Donald Trump. But few of those businesses serve President Trump's core supporters. Until now. Amid the flood of CEOs rushing to distance themselves from Trump's business councils after President Trump committed a sin in their eyes by calling out both the white supremacists and the Antifa crowd, Marcus Lemonis, who is CEO of one of NASCAR's biggest sponsors, Camping World, appeared Wednesday on CNBC's Power Lunch, where he seemed to suggest he wouldn't be shattered if people who supported Trump's comments decided to shop elsewhere. So basically he told all of us NASCAR fans to shop elsewhere. During the segment, Marcus was clearly asked by CNBC's Michelle Caruso-Cabrera if he would have pulled out from a presidential council if he had been on one. To which Marcus made it very clear he would, and that it wouldn't be shattering to him if Trump supporters stopped buying from Camp World altogether. Most NASCAR fans are Trump supporters. NASCAR superstar driver Mark Martin, pictured above, got into the action. Mark Martin is back in the market for a new RV, and there's one company he definitely won't be calling. The NASCAR legend claimed on Twitter that had an order in place with Camping World, the title sponsor for NASCAR's Truck Series, for a $150,000, presumably beautiful new RV. But then Camping World CEO Marcus Lemonis, in response to President Donald Trump's controversial post-Charlottesville, Virginia, rhetoric, invited supporters of Trump's remarks to shop elsewhere last week. Now, the company is without one of its most high-profile customers. First thing in the morning I will be canceling my order for $150,000 RV I have ordered, Martin posted Sunday in a since-deleted tweet. Leave politics out of it. Martin's call to leave politics out of it is curious, since the retired driver has been outspoken in support of some of Trump's positions, even going on stage with then-candidate Trump during a rally in March 2016 and yelling, "Build that wall." Given how popular Martin is with NASCAR diehards, however, his stance against Camping World could spark considerable backlash against the company. A 40-time winner in the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series, the 58-year-old is one of the most popular drivers the sport's ever seen. Speaking of 40-time Cup winners, the ever-hated Kyle Busch reached the impressive milestone after his thrilling win at Bristol Motor Speedway on Saturday. But it didn't end there. Sadly, Martin then did a 180. Update, 3:24 p.m. ET, Mark Martin explained why he deleted his tweet on Monday, after he said he received a call from Camping World CEO Marcus Lemonis, who claimed his comments were misrepresented. I've watched the video carefully multiple times. How are his idiotic words being taken out of context or misrepresented? Why the change of heart, Mr. Martin? What are the rest of us missing here? Sadly, in the past decade, its cars aren't the only thing that has been turning left in the motorsport known as NASCAR. Once former President Barack Hussein Obama took office and the car world was rocked by a bad economy where GM and Dodge ended up needing to be bailed out by us, the American taxpayer, things haven't been the same. This is NASCAR turning left politically. After a season of milestones for NASCAR Drive for Diversity graduates competing across NASCAR National Series, the industry's flagship development program for multicultural and female drivers has announced that 6 drivers will join its 2017 class. The drivers were selected after a competitive combine held last October at New Smyrna Speedway and will compete for relevant racing in the NASCAR K&N Pro Series East and NASCAR Win All-American Series. The 2017 class features a former NASCAR Peak Mexico Series champion, the granddaughter of one of the sport's female pioneers, and NASCAR Drive for Diversity's first sibling teammates. The drivers will attempt to follow in the footsteps of program graduates and current National Series drivers Kyle Larson, Darrell Wallace Jr., and 2016 NASCAR's Xfinity Series champion Daniel Suarez. Now more than ever, we're seeing the impact of NASCAR's development program in producing drivers who excel at the highest echelons of our sport, said Jim Cassidy, NASCAR Senior Vice President of Racing Operations. There's a great deal of talent and potential in this year's class. With the strong foundation that NASCAR Drive for Diversity provides, these drivers will have the opportunity to develop the skills needed to elevate their racing careers. The 2017 class is led by 4 returning drivers, Colin Cobb, Jay Beasley, Madeline Crane, and Ruben Garcia Jr., who first competed in stock car racing in his native Mexico. Colin's younger brother, Chase Cobb, joined 16-year-old Macy Causey as this year's NASCAR Drive for Diversity newcomers. Causey's grandmother, Diane Teal, was the first woman to compete in a NASCAR's Xfinity Series race in 1982. Relevant Racing, the operational arm of NASCAR Drive for Diversity, will field 4 teams in the NASCAR K&N Pro Series East and 2 in the NASCAR Win All-American Series. Like most other NASCAR fans I know, I myself have no issue whatsoever with having diversity in the sport. But when the NBA has 74% black players, and the NFL has 80%, but they have no so-called diversity programs, it just makes me wonder. Why do we always need diversity when a certain sport is ruled by a majority of white players or drivers but not the other way around?